Jess, while we wait for the latecomers, when you address the meeting, can you use the microphone? Otherwise, you won't be heard in the webcast, and that won't work very well. Thank you.
Okay, we will make the start now.
Yes, Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Smith and Councillor Young.
Thank you. Declarations of interest, anyone? Good. Move on to pending application. Minutes on the 18th of October. Yes, Karen.
Thank you, Chair. There is a correction on page 7, paragraph 4. Afternoon needs to be changed to morning.
Okay, thank you for that. Move on to the planning applications. We've got one on the agenda today. I'll ask Samuel to take us through. Thank you.
Good morning. So today we've got a planning application. The address is 170 Unthank Road. This is an amendments application. So the principle of the development has already been established. This was approved in 2021 October committee. So the original consent was for subdivision of 170 Unthank Road into two-bedroom dwellings. The one on the corner of Berry Street has been finished and is now occupied. So this application relates to the subdivision, which is the Mount Pleasant corner of Unthank Road. So it's only amendments to that application. It's not the principle of the entirety of the application. So this is in today. Okay, sorry. Problem. Hello, so this is a planning application for 170 Unthank Road. This is an amendments application, so the principle of development was already established under the consent granted in October 2021. The original application was for the subdivision of 170 Unthank Road into two-bedroom properties. The first half of that, which is on the corner of Berry Street and Unthank Road, has been completed and is now occupied. This amendments application relates to the second half, which is on the corner of Mount Pleasant and Unthank Road. The amendments as submitted were for a change. The original application had a large kitchen area that has been split into two and now has a garage at the further part and a kitchen at the second part. As a result of the reduction of the habitable area, the property is no longer large enough to be a two-bedroom property, so it's been reduced down to a single-bedroom dwelling. Alongside this, the scale of the development as built, as this has already been consented, is on site. Conditions have been approved, so a lot of this has been built, so it's not completed yet. The original consent granted for a 3-metre maximum height. That was on the basis that the plan showed a level ground level outside this, but this is actually on a slope, so it's not possible to build a 3-metre height. So at the one end, it's just over 3 meters, and at the other end, it's 3.4 meters. So that takes account for the gradient. So this is to regularize those aspects. So it's just to clarify that this is not about the entire principle, it's about the amendments being made. Okay. This has gone to sleep. Oh, am I going to move through? There we go. So site layout here, Unthank Road. This direction goes towards the city centre. Berry Street here, Mount Pleasant here, Eaton Cottage Public House here. So this half of the property on Berry Street is completed and occupied. So we're looking at this half here. So this is the view from Unthank Road. So this is the completed element which is occupied. Our site starts where this lamppost is and goes beyond. This is looking from the other direction, looking back towards the city. So this is the element of the extension. Previously, there was a single-storey garage there with a lean-to roof, which was demolished to be replaced with this construction. Slightly closer up. Unfortunately, on the day that I went back to take photos, someone had been up the street taking graffitiing all of the houses. So it wasn't just on this property, that was all the way up, but I've just photographed that, but it's unfortunate. So what we're looking at here, this is the development. Previously, this was a single blank wall. The 3 meters, as you can see, would have been here, but as the land tapers, it's slightly taller there. This would have been all brickwork. They've introduced a garage here, so there'll be a garage door in there if approved and once completed. And this element of the wall here there'll be an additional element of the wall coming back to match the existing wall there with the same tile cappings and a pedestrian gate in there, so a timber gate in that aspect. So that will be finished off as well. That element is open at the moment because it was needed for access for construction, but that's not how it's to be retained. Okay, for photos, face element. So this is the access. This was what was as approved. So the access from Unthank Road, we're not here to discuss this element as such because it's been approved, but this lamppost is to be moved and there will be steps up within the curtilage here to gain main access to the front there. So that's the main pedestrian access, not the side where we're looking at. As you can see up Mount Pleasant, our application site is on the left, the Eaton Cottage on the right. This is an example on site where we've got the tape measure set at 3 meters. So 3 meters is here. So you can see the top of the coping at this end is slightly higher than the 3 meters. And at this end, there's a slightly larger. So it's just to demonstrate what that difference is that we're looking at there. This is the flat roof. So the internal layout of this building has floor level continuous throughout. Then it's got a standard ceiling height for a livable room, and then you have the insulation roof structure, and then the roof structure falls to the front for the drainage there, and it's required by building regulations to have an upstand so that the water doesn't cascade over it. So this is to demonstrate how tight the access is for the height of that. It's very difficult for it to be reduced in any degree. It's not an excessive height, is what I'm trying to say. This is within the garden, looking back at the property. The kitchen is going to be in here, and the garage is slightly beyond that. Then this is a representation I submitted of what was there previously: garage doors, single glazed window, garden walls, and that's the plan as it existed prior to the development. This was what was approved, so an open plan kitchen dining room there. These were the original plans showing the height at 3 meters. Then this is what we're looking at now. So we've got the kitchen split there, which is adequate size kitchen for a single bedroom dwelling. We've got the garage here, sitting room downstairs with the shower and toilet below. The access, as I mentioned, coming off Unthank Road there with bins and cycles storage, and then a private garden on the Mount Pleasant aspect there. As the applicant has decided that they'd like to plant up to cover some extent of the brickwork on that elevation to the side there as a big screening. So it shows the garage door and gate and wall to be completed. I think that's all of those. So the recommendation is to approve the application in accordance with the conditions in paragraph 65 of this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Karen?
Thanks. When did the applicant find out that the ground was not level and it would have to be raised to 3.42 metres? Was it prior, did they contact planning prior to building?
No, they contacted planning after it'd been constructed.
Any other questions?
Just add to that, the land hasn't had to be raised. The issue was with the drawings as originally approved, which didn't show the existing slope on the street. So that it was nigh on impossible to build in accordance with the plans that were approved.
Yeah.
Is the level effectively still 3 metres if it were a level ground? Effectively, they built downwards to meet the ground rather than upwards, if you know what I mean. Is it still the same height as it would have been if the ground was level?
So at one end of the building on the right hand side, if you were looking at it, so where the garage door is essentially, it's just over 3 metres. So something like 3.1, 3.1 metres. So it's more or less in accordance with plans at one end. However, because the land drops as you look towards the left of the property from the street, it is taller from ground level at the left hand side, about 3.4 metres.
Chair, Councillor Sands, Councillor Kendrick, Councillor. Yeah, sorry, I got the wrong glasses on. Apologies. Right, it's Councillor Kane, Councillor Sands. Thank you, Haynes. Yes, and of course I can recognise this as Councillor Calvert. Thank you very much. And
All those against?
can I just confirm your name, please, Councillor? Thanks, Councillor. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's been approved.
Thank you.
That's the end of the meeting. Thank you very much.
Could I just, sorry, Chair, do you mind if I just raise the timings of these meetings? We start at 9:30 and I'm conscious that quite a lot of us have commitments to the school run, which makes a 9:30 start quite challenging. I wonder if we might consider moving that back somewhat.
Later.
You did used to
If we read it 10, people start.
I want to get here later.
2 o'clock, and do dinner.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think a 10 o'clock start would be much more civil, I have to say.
We used to start at 10.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Then we used to start at 9, so we did the dinner.
What if we do someone's going to complain?